Hey, good afternoon, everyone. We're back inside the Lumpkin Center. The final home game before the holiday break as the Lady Cougars and the Bearcats of Lander get set to square off here on Herbert Green Court. We welcome everyone who's joining us here on Cougar Sports TV. I'm Corey Aldis, excited for this final game before the holiday break as Columbus State rolls into this one with a 6-1 record, 1-0 inside of Peach Belt Conference play. Bearcats also with 6 wins on the season and also 1-0 inside of the PBC Conference play. Big-time matchup between two teams that have kind of become some rivals as of late. These have been two of the best teams inside the Peach Belt Conference over the past few seasons. And a prime-time matchup here on this Saturday afternoon. Well, Columbus State rolling into the starting lineup with Kayla Carter and Leasia Williamson up top, alongside Ebony Williams, Ajane Dawkins, and then Crystalyn Boston down low. As for the Bearcats, it's Cruz, Passmore, and Hamilton with Jessica Harris and then Tabitha Daly, who you see in the center circle with Dawkins. There's the tip. We're underway here inside the Lumpkin Center. Lady Cougars in their white home uniforms going right to left here. White tops, white bottoms. Lander and the Bearcats rocking their blue and yellow unis as Kayla Carter takes the opening shot of the game. It's no good, but the offensive putback there was Crystalyn Boston. Well, you're going to hear a lot from the Lady Cougars on the glass, one of the best offensive rebounding teams inside the entire nation. They average 15 offensive rebounds per game. That's leading the way inside the Peach Belt Conference, #1 overall, as they have the early lead. Ball being swung around, Passmore has it out to Cruz, fires from distance, in and out. Sarah Cruz, just a 31% three-point shooter so far this season. The Bearcats already forced an early turnover, and that's the name of the game between these two squads. Both of these two teams like to run and gun, and they both force a whole ton of turnovers. Two of the best inside the conference at forcing turnovers, and they're both very aggressive on defense. They've got the length as well. Active hands is what we'll continually see between these two teams on the defensive side. Here's Ebony Williams trying to spin in the lane. That looked like it went off her. It's going to be another turnover by Columbus State. Well, defensively for Lander, they force their opponents into just about 21 turnovers per game. The Lady Cougars just a tick above them at 22.5. Another three-point attempt. That one way off the mark. Didn't hit anything. Looked like Ebony Williams' foot was on the baseline, though, so ball will stay here with the Bearcats. Well, they've come out firing from distance, which might be a little bit of something to keep an eye out on for Columbus State, because they've got to get out there defensively and guarding the three-point line, as this is a team that likes to fire from distance and does so at a pretty high clip. It's a three-pointer there by Leasia Williamson. That one off the mark, and it's taken away here by Lander. Pushing the pace, it's Harris all the way in, and the layup bouncing around, and she gets the friendly visitors bounce there. So it goes in for her first bucket. Jessica Harris averaging 12.5 points per game. The senior from Sumter, South Carolina, one of the leading scorers for this Bearcat squad, and they almost forced another turnover. Instead, though, it's Williamson. She can't get the bucket to go. Well, we mentioned this was going to be an up-and-down game. Buckle your seatbelts, because Lander is pushing the pace quickly. Zamaya Passmore gets her first two-pointer. She's the leading scorer on this Bearcat squad, averaging just shy of 17 points per game. And the freshman knows how to light up the scoreboard. She's already got 28 points, a season high against Anderson earlier this season. That was part of that 77-70 win back on the 19th. Williamson still can't find the hoop. There's Boston from the free throw line. Lady Cougars are missing all sorts of shots, but Ajane Dawkins ripping it away and gets the layup. Well, Ajane Dawkins inside the starting lineup for the Lady Cougars. She was inserted there last game in place of Taya Gibson. As you are probably aware of by now, Taya Gibson no longer with the team, ineligible for the Lady Cougars, and a brutal loss for CSU. As Taya Gibson, the sophomore, one of the best players on this team, is averaging double figures in scoring, a great rebounder, 6.5 boards, 2.5 steals, but ruled ineligible. Last game was her first game out. The Lady Cougars, well, they ended up surviving, coming away with a nice road victory against USC Aiken. Shouldn't say survive, they ended up blowing them out. They went on a huge run late that upped their lead to 20 as they came away with a 22-point win. Here's Ebony Williams with the layup. Again, turnovers being forced early in this one, and these teams like to get out and after it once they force that turnover. 7 combined turnovers already between these two teams. Here's a look from distance, way short again. That's Hamilton, sub 30% three-point shooter, and another air ball for the Bearcats. First substitution here for Lander as Melvins checks in, the junior from Sicklerville, New Jersey. He's been a big bench player for the Bearcats, already scoring in double figures 5 times this season. Another forced turnover. Great hands there by Williamson. After the defensive stop, let's see if Williamson can try to get things going on the offensive side. 0 for 3 to start. She's the leading scorer for the Cougars, averaging 17 points a game. Down low, great positioning. Crystalline Boston, easy bucket. Two of 2 already from the field is Boston. She was 7 of 10 in her last 2 games coming into this one. Oh, what a spin there by Carter. Can't get it to go, though. We're halfway through this first quarter. It's a 1-point Lady Cougar advantage. 4 for Boston. She leads all scorers. Another 3-point attempt. This one off the mark as well, that time by Harris. So Lander struggling from distance, just 1 of 6 to start from behind the arc. 6 of their 10 shots have been 3-point attempts. Only 1 3-point attempt so far for CSU. Williamson from 15 feet, back rim. The senior Harris with it up top. Another open look. Right now the Lady Cougars kind of daring them to shoot those threes, but this one goes down. Hamilton thought about it for a second. She's 2 of 4. All 4 attempts have been from behind the arc. Carter pushing. Carter in the lane and draws the blocking foul. She'll head to the free throw line. That'll take us to our first break here on Cougar Sports TV. 10-8. Right now, Lander with the early 2-point advantage.
Choosing the right college can be a challenge. Does it offer degrees suited to your career goals? Are emerging fields of study more your interest, like cybersecurity, gaming, or environmental science? What about extracurricular activities, such as campus life, study abroad, or honors? Are scholarships and financial assistance available? Columbus State University has always been one of the most affordable colleges in Georgia. Now it's also one of the fastest growing. When you ask the right questions, you'll find out why CSU should be.
There are over 480,000 college athletes. Only 2% will go pro.
That means over 470,000 will not get a shoe contract. No autographs. No private jets. No fan clubs. No Hall of Fame inductions. Instead, they will walk away with something much more valuable.
Ten to 8, the early 2-point advantage here for the Bearcats, as they have come out launching shots from distance. 2 of 7 from behind the arc. Kayla Carter will be the one at the free throw line here for the Lady Cougars. One of the best inside the Peach Belt Conference, leading the way right now, 92% from the free throw line. Really, she's the only one that you want at the free throw line, to be honest, if you're the Lady Cougars. This is a team that has been struggling mightily from the charity stripe. Despite 92% from Kayla Carter, this is the worst free throw shooting team in the entire conference. CSU, that is, shooting just 56% from the free throw line. Paltry number there for the Lady Cougars. Inside the lane, it's Melvin's wild attempt. Boston was there defensively, and a good stop from CSU. Chance to here to take the lead. That's just the second team foul for Lander. By the way, the Lady Cougars have yet to pick up a foul. They've been playing clean defense so far in this first quarter. 10-10 our score, all knotted up. 4 different scorers here for the Lady Cougars to start. Carter with it right now on the left side. Gets a screen from Boston. Dawkins down low to Boston. Little 10-foot jumper rattles home. Crystal and Boston 3 of 3 from the field. 6 points, 2 boards, along with a steal. Start that she has needed here inside the paint. Boston had that double-double in the opener when she put up 15 points, 13 rebounds. Oh, and by the way, tacked on 5 blocks. That was against Albany State. Hasn't had a double-double since then. That one off the fingertips of Melvin's, another turnover. That's 4 turnovers now for Lander, 5 for the Lady Cougars. Conjay will check into the game for the first time. Passmore coming back in as well as the Bearcats set up their full court pressure defense. Over the top they go, and Carter has it and easily breaks it. Carter getting a screen from Dawkins as well as Boston. Hounding her is Passmore. Freshman all over Carter. Here's Williamson, a deep 3, way off the mark. 0 for 5 now from the field is Leasia Williamson to start. You mentioned she's a leading scorer for the Lady Cougars. She's been shooting real well from behind the arc for CSU. Shooting 43% from distance so far this season. Just hasn't been able to find the range in the early goings. Conjay gets her first bucket. Here's Williamson, picked up by Hamilton. Drives, lays that one off. That's what you got to do if you're Leasia Williamson. If the buckets aren't falling for you, drive the lane. Take matters into your own hands and find the easy open bucket. That's exactly what happened there on the drive. Mid-range jumper off the mark, no good by Ricarte. Offensive rebound, Boston's there with the rejection. Loose ball, Kayla Carter picks it up. Carter with it, going behind her back. That's great defense right there by Passmore. The freshman was hounding her. A 2v1. Passmore all the way in herself. 4 points now for Passmore. Carter, Williamson, corner 3 ball, no good. Lady Cougars got to get back defensively. Right now, Lander just pushing the pace and killing them in fast break. The transition defense has not been there for CSU. Here's Williamson, rejected there by Ricarte. But CSU gets it back. Skip pass, Carter, 3. 0 for 4 now from behind the arc is CSU. Harris was probing. Ricarte, kind of a forced shot there, and tough foul from Dawkins. CSU shooting just 33% from the field right now. 6 of 18 as a team. Take away the 2 guards for CSU and Kayla Carter and Leasia Williamson, and the team is shooting 6 of 7 from the field. But Carter and Williamson a combined 0 of 10 here in this first quarter. Mercarte gets that second one to go down. So 34.4 left here in this first quarter. Columbus State a chance to cut it down to 1 or tie this game up with a 3. Dozier is checked in for CSU. Instead, they turn it over. They give it right back to Lander. There's Passmore in the lane, dumping that one off. Daly can't get the bounce. Dawkins clears it. And now CSU can take the final shot if they want. Carter has it. Out on the S on the far side. And Dozier was trying to backdoor cut there. Carter led her too far. Back-to-back turnovers here for CSU. Short little 5-0 spurt from the Bearcats. And now they have a chance to add to their 3-point advantage here. 8 seconds remain. Pushing the pace, it's Passmore. Lady Cougars got fouls to play with if they wanted. Off the back rim, no good on that shot. And that'll take us to the end of the first quarter. Well, things went a little cold for CSU. Shot just 33% from the field. Couldn't make a 3. They trailed by 3 points here inside the Lumpkin Center after 1.
A smile is the best thing you can wear. At Cook Dental Care, we have a smile for you. We believe in creating a dental experience for each patient that demonstrates kindness, professionalism, and knowledgeable service.
También tenemos un equipo bilingüe listo para ayudarle y cuidarle.
Insurance, financing, walk-ins, and new patients are always welcome.
Good morning.
Hi.
How you doing today?
For your family's dental care, visit us at cookdentalcare.com or call 706-689-2905. Again, that number is 706-689-2905. I am Dr. Kathy Cook, and I'm the official dentist of CSU Athletics. At Cook Dental Care, we provide dental dentistry for the entire family.
Dr. Cook,
Yes.
you have a patient in room 3.
Okay, thank you.
Well, it's been the Crystal and Boston show down low for the Lady Cougars in that first quarter. Perfect 4 of 4 from the field. Leads all scorers with 8 points to go along with 4 boards. Dawkins fighting down low, and foul will be whistled on the Lady Cougars. Conjay was there for the Bearcats. What worked for CSU in that first quarter was getting that ball down low to Crystal and Boston, but also anytime that they drove and forced the defense to collapse on them, it opened up a player on the opposite side when you would have Carter or Williamson drive in. I'd like to see a little bit more of that here in the second quarter and not settle for those deep shots. Shots that really weren't falling for them in that first quarter. That'll stay here with the Bearcats. Down to 22 here on the shot clock. Right now it's Passmore. Finds Harris. Harris thought about it. Goes back to Passmore. She'll take one instead. Off the mark, no good. Kari Jernigan was there for the rebound, and a foul, loose ball foul, is going to be called on Ricarte. Columbus State's got to clean things up on the offensive side when they have the ball. Not be careless with it. Already 8 turnovers in that first quarter. Almost turned it over again right there. As they get it inbounded to Carter. That's something we knew was going to be an issue coming into this game, the pressure defense from Lander. Something that Coach Pedersen has developed real well over the years that he's been leading the way for Lander. Pedersen, a longtime coach in his 15th season for the Bearcats. How about Boston? Unstoppable right now. 5 for 5 from the field. She's the first player in the double figures. That shot attempt way off the mark. Gets tipped over to Jernigan. And now Columbus State can push it. Here's Kayla Carter. Driving, stutter step, off glass. A little too hard there. And the rebound's corralled by Hamilton. Down low. And again, that transition defense not there right now for CSU. Harris, the one who pushed the pace that time. It's going to be another turnover for CSU. Kayla Carter whistled for the offensive foul. Just her first personal foul, and a couple substitutes coming in here for CSU as Taxiana Wilson will check in, as will Journey Smith. So it's Williamson, Smith, Wilson, Jernigan, and Dozier, the 5 out there right now for the Lady Cougars. Forced shot up there off the mark, no good from Passmore. Wilson's on the ground. Tried calling timeout. Instead, it's going to be a jump ball. Inbounded, stolen away. Another turnover for CSU. They just cannot keep possession of the ball right now as they continue to turn it over. Harris will be the one at the free throw line. Lander on top right now, 20-16. 8:13 left here in the second quarter. One more to come for Harris. Gets that one to go down. 77% free throw shooter. And here comes Columbus State trying to break the press once again. They get it finally across. Over to Williamson, open look for 3, finally gets one to go down. And now all 5 of them get back. Trying to respond, off the mark, no good was Hamilton. Columbus State comes away with it. And those misses are vital because it doesn't allow Lander to set up their press defense. They thought they had a clean block there, it looked pretty clean, but Conjay will be whistled for the foul. Referee saying a push from behind. We'll send Dozier to the free throw line. So Dozier will have a crack at 2 free throws here. No good on the first one. Just a 33% free throw shooter this season. Again, you go back to the free throw shooting woes for CSU. 56% from the field, or from the free throw line as a team. (21-20). Bearcats up by 1. Boston only one in double figures so far, leading the way with 10 points. Perfect from the field, 5 for 5 with 5 boards as well. Into the corner, another 3-point attempt, off the mark again. Great rebound there by Dozier, and she comes away with it for CSU. Pushing the pace, kick out, Smith. Back over to Dozier. She won't hesitate, left it short. Transition defense. Lady Cougars got back that time just in time. And the foul will be whistled on the Bearcats. About the fast break points already for Lander, a 10-2 advantage for the Bearcats. They've got 7 points off of 10 Lady Cougar turnovers. Jernigan gets it into the front court. Williamson driving in, and another turnover. Reaching in there and stepping up, right place, right time, was Jessica Harris, who was there for the takeaway. Turnover number 11 now for CSU. Boy, they're piling on fast. Outside the arc right now, it's Harris. Over to Jester. Jester getting her first minutes of the game. Bounces that one over to Harris. Mid-range, no good, off the mark. Loose ball, up for grabs. Williamson has it. 1v2 here for Williamson. She's gonna split the D, gets it off glass, no good. Loose ball, offensive board, back to the free throw line. It'll be Dozier for CSU. Williamson now 1 for 9 from the field. Has just that one made three-pointer. Dozier a chance to give CSU the lead if she can make both. Dozier, by the way, she had a real good game off the bench in that big win against USC Aiken the other night. 11 minutes off the bench, put up 11 points. It's pretty efficient there for your time on the court. 5 of 6 from the field, hit a three-pointer as well, grabbed 4 boards. Her career high. Best game of the season for Dozier. Ravel. Ricarte trying to dump that one down low. Conjay, well defended there from Jernigan. Gets it into the corner, no good again. Another miss from distance. Now 2 of 11 from behind the arc are the Bearcats. So they too struggling to find their range. Right now CSU on a little bit of a run here, a 6-0 run at that. Although an offensive foul will be called on them, turning it right back over to the Bearcats. Lander's been scoreless for just about 2 minutes. They're 1 for their last 11 from the field. Here's Cruz. Harris. Wild attempt there. It's going to go in off glass for Harris. She's now in the double figures, 10 points. And will have a chance to complete the three-point play, and Coach Hauser can't believe it. Second foul called there on Journey Smith. And Harris, 78% free throw shooter, will head to the line for 1. Rolls that free throw in to give the Bearcats a 24-22 advantage. So Harris now with 11 points. She's in a double figure. She's scored in double figures now in all 10 games this season for the Bearcats. Remember, she was the player that absolutely dominated and crushed the Clemson Tigers. Yes, that Clemson Tiger team, the D1 school. Lander and Clemson squared off in an exhibition game at the very beginning of the season. That was back in late October, October 29th. And it was a buzzer beater for Lander. They had a buzzer beating shot to take down Clemson at Clemson, 74-72. Harris was the one who dropped 30 on the Tigers. What a performance from the senior. 30 points. She was 10 of 16 from the field. Drained 4 threes as well. Just big time play. And that's one of those wins that, you know, Coach Pedersen and the Lander team can use for experience rolling down this season as it continues to progress. We'll take a media timeout here on Herbert Green Court, 24-22. Bearcats up 2.
I knew that there was an opportunity to have my college paid for if I was good enough to play baseball at that level. That was going to make a big difference in my family. D2 baseball gave me an opportunity to play at a high level and to get an education that's going to be valuable for me throughout the rest of my life. I chose to take my experience of being a student athlete and pursue that within my career and to get a master's degree. If I wouldn't have had a baseball scholarship, there'd be no chance that I'm doing what I'm doing today.
Don't you worry, my child. Everything's gonna be just fine. Little darling, you keep on walking, 'cause I ain't never gonna leave your side.
As kids fall in love with sports, our universities are working every day to keep college sports safe, so you can watch them play with a little less worry and a little more joy.
Back inside the Lumpkin Center, 24-22 our score line. Bearcats up by 2. Both teams really struggling from the field, each shooting just 30%. So we're about 15 minutes into this one. Another miss from distance. Bearcats 2 of 13. Here's Journey Smith up top for CSU. Boston to Jernigan as they swing it around. Dozier with it. Smith, the crossover, drives the lane, floats it up and in, off glass. Journey Smith to the rack for 2. Didn't play in that win against USC Aiken the other night, but she's been averaging 7 points and 6 boards per game. Columbus State needs her presence out there on the court, especially when they're already missing bodies out there. Already mentioned Taya Gibson, no longer eligible. By the way, Valeria Merlos sitting out as well. She picked up a concussion in their practice the other day, so she's not out there for CSU. So they're just missing some bodies out there right now. Depth is really going to be challenged on a team that was already lacking depth. We're early on here inside of conference play. It's going to force a lot of these players just to pick up their play and pick up more minutes when they're out there on the court. Ravel, the one at the free throw line, rolls home the first free throw. Lander grabbed their conference win against Young Harris just the other night, a 71-57 win against the Mountain Lions. And that press defense gets to Columbus State yet again, forces another turnover. We're already getting closer and closer to 20 turnovers. We're not even at halftime right now. They've got 14 turnovers right now. Much better on breaking the press there from CSU. It's Carter, well defended though by Ricarte. Hard to get over her length, 6 feet 2 inches. She's already come up with a couple of blocks. She's second inside the Peach Belt Conference in blocks coming into this game. How about 4 blocks already for Ricarte? She's been averaging about 2 per game. Already with 4 blocks. And it's mainly happened when the Lady Cougars break that press. Once they break that press, they get all the way into the lane. Better option is to stop and pop there from about 10 feet out instead of trying to force it all the way in and going over the length of Ricarte, which just hasn't been working out for them right now. Losing her footing, ball loose on the ground. Jernigan dove for it. And it's going to be Bearcat ball. back to the free throw line we go as both of these teams in the bonus for the final 3:01 of this first half. Cruz will be the one at the free throw line, just a 50% free throw shooter though this season. This is a Lander squad that averages just shy of 80 points per game. They lead the way inside the Peach Belt Conference in scoring. But right now, got to give some credit to Columbus State's defense. You know, they've been turning the ball over a lot, 15 turnovers on the offensive side, but their defense has held Lander to sub 30% shooting so far in this first half. A very talented squad that comes in shooting 45% from the field. Puts them second inside of conference play. A timeout's going to be called there by the Lady Cougars to avoid another turnover. So 28-24 our score line here. This is the final game before the holiday break for Columbus State. They'll be off for about 10 plus days here. They won't be back in action until January 4th, which will actually be right back here inside the Lumpkin Center as Columbus State will take on Francis Marion. A 1:30 tip there. Another doubleheader, conference doubleheader for Cougar basketball. But this is one of those games where it's such a big opportunity for CSU if they can come away with the win to be up 2-0 in conference play, rolling into that break, giving them a little bit of momentum before they get some time off. And when it comes against Lander, nothing is ever easy, with the Bearcats being one of the best teams inside the Peach Belt Conference. That's why a game like this is really a big test to see where this Lady Cougar squad is at. I know they're feeling real good about themselves, and they've had a good start with a 6-1 record, but obviously there have been some question marks about the team under first-year head coach Matt Hauser, with so many bodies being out for the Lady Cougars and their depth being tested. But they have really kind of proven the doubters and done a great job in the early going of the season. Ball being swung around, real nice. That's what you want if you're CSU. Open jumper. That's what can happen once you break the press and don't force it up inside the paint. The kick out, the ball movement, and an open bucket. Down low, Ricarte, quick turnaround, halfway down, pops out. Here comes Dozier. Dozier pushing it, dumps it off. Crystalline Boston, a little pump fake, and one. Count it, and the foul. Boston still perfect from the field. She's got 12. And a chance for a three-point play. Want to go up against that length of Ricarte, give it a little pump fake, get her in the air and draw the foul. It'll send the sophomore from Spain to the bench. And Boston a chance to not only complete the three-point play, but give the Lady Cougars the lead back, and she does so. 29-28. Lady Cougars reclaim the lead. Taken away there by Kayla Carter. Carter averaging 1.5 steals per game, but she missed the layup. Got to give credit there to the senior Harris, getting back defensively and causing that miss from Carter. Deflection there from Dozier. And now the Lady Cougar defense starting to get into it a little bit. Corner three, though, silences the Lady Cougars. Jessica Harris, her first three-point make this afternoon. She now has 14 and passes Boston for the leading scorer in this game. Those two kind of going back and forth. 14 for Harris, 13 for Boston. Skipped over to Smith. She's thinking about it. Gets a screen, driving with her left, almost traveled there, may have. No good on the shot though, and she's gonna pick up a silly foul, which will put the Bearcats back on the free throw line. Well, not a foul that you want to pick up when the Bearcats are 90 feet away from the basket. It's gonna give two free throws here to the freshman Ravel. perfect on the season at the free throw line so far. So Carter and Williamson, a combined 1 for 17 from the field. Yet the Lady Cougars only down by 2. Got to view that as a positive sight, despite neither guard really able to get anything going for CSU. Second attempt goes down, 3-point advantage. As Columbus State inbounds it quickly, and they're trying to break the press, and they do so successfully. There's Dozier all the way in, but she misses the layup. Columbus State's been getting in there on those layup attempts, just haven't been able to finish. On the flip side, though, Lander not having any issues finishing when they get inside. Another layup from Passmore. By the way, that was another transition bucket. +8 in the fast break point department are the Bearcats. Well, right when CSU reclaimed the lead, 29-28, 6 straight here for the Bearcats. .4 left here as Carter gets that first free throw to go down. Again, 1 for 17 between her and Williamson. Carter is 0 of 6 from the field. Williamson 1 for 11. But Carter has made all 4 free throws. Cuts it down to a 3-point deficit. That ball's up for grabs. It's loose, still loose, and it falls into the hands there of Passmore, and another layup. Ball inbounded to Williamson. Here she is into the front court, down to 10 seconds left in this first half. Double team comes, gets poked away, she gets it back, down to 6. She drives, floats it up, off glass, gets it to go down. Just her second made field goal of the first half, but a big one there for the Lady Cougars. They cut it down to a 1-possession game at the break. 36-33 is our scoreline. Crystal Boston leading the way for CSU, 13 points, 5 boards. On the flip side, it's Harris with 14 for the Bearcats. It'll take us to our halftime break. 36-33, Lady Cougars trail by 3 on Cougar Sports TV.
As Division II student athletes, we are committed to being our best.
Division II National SAC is proud to partner with the Sports Science Institute to play a role in the cardiac safety and health of student athletes.
Although many student athletes with heart conditions live healthy, active lives, up to 10 NCAA student athletes die each year of sudden cardiac death during athletic activities.
The facts are that immediate delivery of CPR and AED saves lives, so everyone should be CPR and AED trained. Please join us in this important initiative. Make it yours.
It's not about where you were born. It's not about your gender or the color of your skin, or whether you're rich, poor, or in the middle. No matter what you play, if you have the skill and drive to succeed in school and in sports, we'll provide the opportunity.
The American dream to me as an immigrant means having the opportunities that my parents didn't have. Being the first one in my family to graduate, it meant everything my parents sacrificed for me to get to this point. It was paying off.
Estoy muy orgulloso de Michael por haberse graduado de colegio.
My path to a college degree would have been completely different had I not had a scholarship. It just relieved a lot of the financial burden.
These are your teams, your players, your community of fans. This is where they play, where they practice, where you cheer. At every meet, every event, every game. Your community is passionate, dedicated, supportive. You know the tension of a close game and the thrill of the win. So while you're cheering, keep an eye out for anything out of the ordinary. If you see something suspicious, say something to local authorities.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's will you?
We can stop to make sure someone is okay. Get in the way and disrupt the situation.
Codify an authority.
Or walk them home safely.
We can change the language around rape.
We can make campuses safer for our teammates, our friends, and our classmates.
We cannot be bystanders.
Taking action isn't always easy, but it's on us.
To intervene.
Because we can. Learn more and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Opportunity to me means doing the things that will make you a better future. I always dreamed of graduating from college. So being the first one in my family to graduate, it meant everything my parents sacrificed was paying off. Having an athletic scholarship for the University of Mount Olive was key for my success. I had the opportunity to not only get an education, but be able to develop as an individual.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
NCAA Teamworks is how the NCAA, member schools, student athletes, and corporate champions and partners actively engage in outreach efforts where national championships are played. Through initiatives such as NCAA Community 101 service learning projects, disaster relief efforts, youth clinics, backpack and school supply donations, and support of Special Olympics and the Make-A-Wish Foundation, the NCAA and its partners work together to leave a lasting legacy in the community. For more information on NCAA Teamworks, go to ncaa.com/teamworks.
My path to a college degree would have been completely different had I not run Division II cross country for the University of Mount Olive. Having an athletic and academic scholarship was key for my success. Our coaches were really helpful with balancing out my academics and athletics. I decided to attend graduate school because I wanted to become an athletic director. Receiving the postgraduate scholarship through the NCAA provided me with the flexibility to choose the school that I wanted. So now I know that I can accomplish any goal that I set for myself.
On and off the court, we're focused on creating lifelong opportunity, and that starts with education. More college athletes are earning degrees than ever before, but we've still got work to do. That's why we're raising the bar for incoming freshmen, so they're prepared when they get to campus, and why teams can't play in championships unless they make the grade. Education matters, and putting academics first creates a pathway to a lifetime of opportunity.
A smile is the best thing you can wear. At Cook Dental Care, we have a smile for you. We believe in creating a dental experience for each patient that demonstrates kindness, professionalism, and knowledgeable service.
También tenemos un equipo bilingüe listo para ayudarle y cuidarle.
Insurance, financing, walk-ins, and new patients are always welcome.
Good morning.
Hi.
How you doing today?
For your family's dental care, visit us at cookdentalcare.com or call 706-689-2905. Again, that number is 706-689-2905. I am Dr. Kathy Cook, and I'm the official dentist of CSU Athletics. At Cook Dental Care, we provide dental dentistry for the entire family.
Dr. Cook,
Yes.
you have a patient in room 3.
Okay, thank you.
While they're focused on success, we're focused on them. Because protecting college athletes doesn't only happen on the field. After the buzzer, it's about healthier student athletes. So we're reforming to meet their needs, investing in groundbreaking research, and changing the conversation around mental health. We're working hard to protect college athletes because prioritizing their well-being creates a pathway to a lifetime of opportunity. Across divisions, sports, championships, and schools for nearly 500,000 student athletes, college sports create lifelong opportunity, and that starts with education. We've raised the academic bar, so more are earning degrees, creating healthier campuses by working with the nation's brightest minds, and making sure more have the chance to succeed and are supported on their journey. But beyond the numbers, it's about opportunity, and we're working to provide it for every student athlete.
The American dream to me as an immigrant means having the opportunities that my parents didn't have. Being the first one in my family to graduate, it meant everything my parents sacrificed for me to get to this point. It was paying off.
Estoy muy orgulloso de Michael por haberse graduado de colegio.
My path to a college degree would have been completely different had I not had a scholarship. It would just relieved a lot of the financial burden.
We can stop to make sure someone is okay, get in the way, and disrupt the situation.
Codify an authority.
Or walk them home safely.
We can change the language around rape.
We can make campuses safer for our teammates, our friends, and our classmates.
We cannot be bystanders.
Taking action isn't always easy, but it's on us
to intervene.
because we can. Learn more and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
From court to court and lane to lane under the lights or under the sun, no one delivers Division II sports like NCAA.com. The center of D2 is inside the NCAA.com hub with exclusive highlights of every sport and live broadcasts of every Division II championship found nowhere else. Make NCAA.com yours, the home of Division II college sports.
It's more than a whistle or a call. We're committed to giving college athletes a fair shot, on and off the field. Covering the full cost of attendance, because college costs go beyond tuition. Keeping dreams on track, regardless of performance or injury. And creating equal opportunities and inclusive environments. It's about respecting college athletes and prioritizing fairness to build a pathway to lifelong opportunity.
As a student athlete in college, I first got involved with the NCAA at the national level. It was through the Student Athlete Advisory Committee, SAC, gave me an opportunity to advocate on behalf of all student athletes, to affect change and to make an impact. The NCAA is giving the student athlete a platform to voice their concerns and to be able to advocate for what's going to affect their well-being. The policies that are being put in place are speaking towards academics, they're speaking towards well-being, they're speaking towards fairness, creating a culture so that the student athletes have the best experience as possible.
Label me.
You know you want to.
Don't be shy.
You do it behind my back.
So say it to my face.
You don't know me.
You know what I am?
I'm a pitcher.
I'm a striker.
I'm a point guard.
I'm a linebacker.
I'm a setter.
Shortstop.
High jumper.
Wrestler.
Defender.
Goalie.
Student.
Student athletes.
That's who we are.
As Division II student athletes, we are committed to being our best.
Division II National SAC is proud to partner with the Sports Science Institute to play a role in the cardiac safety and health of student athletes.
Although many student athletes with heart conditions live healthy, active lives, up to 10 NCAA student athletes die each year of sudden cardiac death during athletic activities.
The facts are that immediate delivery of CPR and AED saves lives, so everyone should be CPR and AED trained. Please join us in this important initiative. Make it yours.
Welcome back inside the Lumpkin Center. Second half about to get underway as the Lady Cougars trail 36-33 to the Bearcats of Lander. A bit of a sloppy first half there from both teams. Both teams shooting just 33% from the field. 9 turnovers for the Bearcats, 15 for CSU. They just were unable to really break that press from the Bearcats, and it caused all sorts of havoc for CSU in the backcourt. The 15 turnovers, obviously a vital key to clean up as we enter the third quarter of play here inside the Lumpkin Center. The guards for CSU, the backcourt really struggling from the field. Williamson and Carter have combined to shoot 2 for 18 from the field. Thanks to Crystal and Boston shooting 6 for 6 and leading the way with 13 points. It's just a one-possession game. So despite the poor shooting and despite all the turnovers, you're still pretty deadlocked here against the Bearcats. That's a great sign if you're a Lady Cougar fan. Also a good sign, them forcing a turnover there from Lander. Down low, Dawkins, foul called. Both of these teams with 6 wins on the season. Columbus State 6-1, Lander 6-3. Here 3 losses for the Bearcats. Game against Carson, Newman, Limestone, and Lee. For the Lady Cougars, the lone blemish was a tough one on the road against Valdosta State back on November 30th. That 69-59 loss. That one's batted around. It will go back to CSU. That was the final game in that little Thanksgiving tournament. Came away with a 3-point win against Eckerd before falling to Valdosta State. See if the Cougars can get Williamson and Carter going here in this second half. They're going to need it. 2 of the best teams inside the Peach Belt Conference squaring off here. They'll play each other a second time. Not until way later in the season, all the way on February 8th, the return game at Lander. Look at Dawkins taking it away, score it, and the bucket and the foul. Passmore picking up the foul, a chance for a three-point play here for Columbus State. Ajane Dawkins now with 4 points and 7 boards. Can't get the free throw to go there. Still a 1-point deficit here for CSU, 36-35. Into the lane, off the hands there of Konje, a turnover for the Bearcats. Well, they had 9 turnovers in the first half. They've already got 2 turnovers here to start this third quarter. Inbounded to Carter. Gets past the defense there. Here's where you break the press and you drive all the way in. There's Carter. Can't get the layup to go. Another missed layup for CSU. They've missed a handful of those layups down low. And this time around, Ricarte wasn't even in the game to alter the shot. Corner 3, Hamilton. Made 2 of them in the first half. Both in the first quarter. Gets that one to go down. Well, much better sign, though, from CSU because they've been breaking the press here early, at least, in the first couple minutes of this third quarter without turning it over. You like to see them keep the turnovers. Nice pass there, especially from your big down low, Boston, the feed. You like to see the turnovers kept at, obviously, sub-10 here in this second half, but maybe finishing around 21-22 would be a real good sign for CSU, considering they had 15 in the first half. Air ball 3, but right there was Konje to finish. Well, I speak about limiting the turnovers, and then right on cue, there's the first turnover of the third quarter from CSU. Careless inbounds. So they get an offensive rebound, a putback, and then force a turnover. Those are the little things that can end up costing you games that Columbus State's got to find ways to clean up. Here's Harris. Williamson out on top. Passmore tried to go down low. Boston takes it away. Up ahead, Ebo leaked out. Williamson finds her. Other side of the basket, gets it to go down. Great break there by Williams in transition. It's what killed the Lady Cougars on the other end. All first half. The leakouts in the transition offense, the fast break offense from Lander. CSU just wasn't able to keep up. They were outscored by 8 on fast break points. This time around, they get one themselves. Another turnover. That's a travel down low. Already the 4th turnover of the third quarter for the Bearcats. Got to like what you're seeing here if you're Columbus State. I'll have Williams be the one to inbound it now for CSU. Into Dawkins. They break the press easily that time. Kick out, open look. Williamson left it short, followed her shot. Rejected there by Ricarte. Another block, her 5th one this afternoon. That's got to be one that you got to lay off there if you're Williamson. Lander unable to save it as it goes out of bounds for another turnover. Bearcats have opened the door here for Columbus State. Lady Cougars got to take advantage, though. They've already put up 9 shots to just 5 for Lander in this third quarter. Here's Dawkins, up and under, just can't quite get it to go. Great effort there just to get that shot up, but Ricarte, again, they're altering it. Oh, Ricarte, great look down low. The ball movement and the feed is finished by Konje. Back up to a 4-point Bearcat lead. Carter to Boston. Skip pass. Williamson. Try it again. This time, splash. A 3-ball goes down for CSU. Can that turn the tide here for Columbus State? 43-42. They trail by 1. Trying to respond. It's Hamilton again. Her 4th three-pointer today. 2 in the first quarter, 2 here in the third. Skip pass. Carter. His own defense steps out. Boston. Skip it over to Williamson. Into the corner. That's her spot. Ebo mid-range. That time can't quite get it to go. And now Columbus State's got to get back defensively. It's a 2v1, and it's too easy. Way too easy there for Lander. Another transition bucket for the Bearcats. Right when CSU cut it down to a 1-point deficit, and this has been happening all game. Each time Columbus State gets right back into it, Lander responds. Once CSU took the lead late in the first half, Lander responded with a 6-0 run. Here they are, they've responded with a 7-0 run. 4:23 left here in the third quarter. We'll take our media timeout. 48-42. Cougars trail by 6.
Choosing the right college can be a challenge. Does it offer degrees suited to your career goals? Are emerging fields of study more your interest, like cybersecurity, gaming, or environmental science? What about extracurricular activities, such as campus life, study abroad, or honors? Are scholarships and financial assistance available? Columbus State University has always been one of the most affordable colleges in Georgia. Now it's also one of the fastest growing. When you ask the right questions, you'll find out why CSU should be.
There are over 480,000 college athletes. Only 2% would go pro.
That means over 470,000 will not get a shoe contract. No autographs. No private jets. No fan clubs. No Hall of Fame inductions. Instead, they will walk away with something much more valuable.
A smile is
.48-42, Bearcats up 6. .423 left here in this third quarter. Well, Columbus State has forced 5 Bearcat turnovers in this third, but they find themselves now trailing by 6. Lander has responded with a couple of made three-pointers. They're shooting 5 of 8 from the field here in this third quarter, outscoring CSU 12-9. Carter off a screen from the free throw line, way off the mark. Boston's there to grab the offensive rebound. Up top, Williamson, another one. Here she is, starting to heat up. 3 made three-pointers this afternoon. She's got 11. Second Lady Cougar into double figures. Now they got to get some stops, and the skip pass is another turnover. Make it 6 third quarter turnovers for the Bearcats. Williamson, can she hit another one? This time off the mark, no good. And Williams will pick up the foul. So 2 in the double figures for each of these teams, 13 and 11 for Boston and Williamson. Meanwhile, Hamilton and Harris both shooting 5 of 10 from the field, both with 14 points. And that's a great sign if you're a Bearcat fan, as Hamilton only averaged 5 points coming into this game. In fact, she was coming off one of her worst games of the year in that win against Young Harris when she went 0 of 6 from the field. Missed all 6 of her three-point attempts, finishing with 0 points in the game. And here she is with 4 made threes and 14 points so far, a little past midway of the third quarter. Big time bounce back for Hamilton. That three-pointer off the mark, no good. Carter still can't hit a bucket. She's 0 of 9 from the field. Oh, what a move there. Little stutter step. Caught the defense sleeping. Everyone looked away. Harris goes right past Williamson and Boston. There's Williamson, picked up by Cruz. They try to swing that one over to Dawkins. She's going to be fouled. She'll head to the free throw line. Risky pass there made into the lane, but Dawkins came down with it and will get 2 free throws. Team's 4th foul, so the Lady Cougars will have a chance to be in the bonus for the final 2:25 of this third quarter. A couple of substitutes checking in for Lander, as well as Columbus State, as Journey Smith and Erin Dozier come in for CSU. Dawkins with 6 points, 7 boards, and a couple of assists. 73% free throw shooter on the year, misses the first. She, too, had one of her best games of the season last game in that win against USC Aiken. And, by the way, that was her first start as well. First start as a Lady Cougar, making her second one here this afternoon. But she put up 10 points, 9 boards, and 4 steals in that 22-point win over USC Aiken. And Columbus State is really going to need the junior transfer to step up in a big way for the rest of the season with no more Gibson. Another 3-point attempt. This time it's Ravel. And a turnover down low. Tabitha Daly can't hit it. Offensive rebound, offensive putback, Ricarte. Massive swing right there, 5 straight for the Bearcats. They've opened up their largest lead of the game, 55-46. Boston, she's been real quiet since that first quarter. Williamson, mid-range, no good. Boston trying to grab the offensive rebound. She does, and puts it back in. Got to get that ball back down to Boston. Perfect from the field still, 7 of 7. Into the corner, Ravel looking for back-to-back trays. This one off the mark. Over it goes, Dozier forced it up, no good. Dawkins is there, she's fouled, back to the line. Lady Cougars have been crashing the offensive glass. They've got 12 offensive rebounds now. Dawkins back at the free throw line for 2 more. Gets the first one to go down. The turnovers for CSU, obviously a alarm for concern, which is a little strange coming into this game because, by the way, this is the team that's ranked 20th in the entire nation in fewest amount of turnovers. Columbus State just been real good at taking care of the ball and not turning it over for their opponents. 20th best in the nation, but here they are with 17 turnovers this afternoon. Luckily for them, Lander with 16 of their own as they've been turning it over here in this third quarter. Keeping Columbus State in the game. Dawkins down low. Got Ricarte in the air and will head back to the free throw line. They're trying to get her into foul trouble as Ricarte picks up her 3rd personal. It's a great job, though, by Dawkins. Real solid from CSU, knowing that you're in the bonus, and they've been forcing it inside for the past couple of possessions. Earning themselves trips to the free throw line. Now you just got to hit them if you're the Lady Cougars. 300th. Yeah, that number is correct. 300th in the nation in free throw shooting are the Lady Cougars. But Dawkins hits them both. Down to a 4-point deficit. Final minute here of this third quarter. Need a stop and then a bucket on the other end. Ricarte from the elbow. Ricarte came in averaging just 4 points a game. He's got another bucket, second field goal of the game. And that miss is going to go over the backboard, and it will give the ball back to Lander. They'll have a chance to sit on this clock and take the final shot of the third if they want it. 57-51, Lady Cougars trailing by 6. Here's Passmore inside, and the layup is good. Cutting to the bucket and picking up a big make there as Journey Smith is going to heave it, not in time for CSU. And it's going to put the Lady Cougars in a hole, 59-51. They trail by 8. Let's head to the final quarter on Cougar Sports TV.
A smile is the best thing you can wear. At Cook Dental Care, we have a smile for you. We believe in creating a dental experience for each patient that demonstrates kindness, professionalism, and knowledgeable service.
También tenemos un equipo bilingüe listo para ayudarle y cuidarle.
Insurance, financing, walk-ins, and new patients are always welcome.
Good morning.
Hi.
How you doing today?
For your family's dental care, visit us at cookdentalcare.com or call 706-689-2905. Again, that number is 706-689-2905. I am Dr. Kathy Cook, and I'm the official dentist of CSU Athletics. At Cook Dental Care, we provide dental dentistry for the entire family.
Dr. Cook?
Yes.
You have a patient in room 3.
Okay, thank you.
I knew that there was an opportunity to have my college paid for if I was good enough to play baseball at that level. That was going to make a big difference in my family. D2 baseball gave me an opportunity to play at a high level and to get an education that's going to be valuable for me throughout the rest of my life. I chose to take my experience of being a student athlete and pursue that within my career and to get a master's degree. If I wouldn't have had a baseball scholarship, there'd be no chance that I'm doing what I'm doing today.
Here we go, 10 more minutes here inside the Lumpkin Center. 59-51, Lady Cougars trailing by 8. Lander outscored Columbus State by 5 in that third quarter. At one point had a 9-point advantage, their largest of the game. Right now it's at 8. Williamson stop and pop for 2. They're going to need more of that from CSU's Williamson. She's got 13 now in the afternoon, but just 5 of 19 from the field. Open look, it's Passmore, and she makes Columbus State pay. That's been happening all game long. And another turnover, speaking of happening all game long. Columbus State gives it right back to the Bearcats. Harris just lays it in for 2 more. The inbounds have been killing CSU. And they can't afford that. 18 turnovers now for Columbus State, and Coach Hauser is quickly going to call a timeout just 54 seconds into this fourth quarter. Well, they had forced 8 turnovers by Lander in that third quarter. It's great defense by CSU, but unfortunately, they also kept turning it over themselves and giving Lander easy looks. Not only with those layups, but their zone defense has really been getting carved up. And it's been allowing Lander to shoot open looks from 3. 7 made 3-pointers now for the Bearcats, 4 from Hamilton. She's been leading the way for Lander. 3 into double figures now for the Bearcats. Passmore with 11, Hamilton with 14, and obviously Harris on top of everyone with 18 points in this one. But the Lady Cougars also have 3 in double figures. Boston perfect from the field, 7 of 7. She's got 15. Williamson with 13, and Dawkins now in the double figures with 10 and 8 boards. So both Dawkins and Boston creeping up on double-doubles, each with 8 rebounds. All right, who's going to step up here for Columbus State? Largest deficit of the afternoon. They trail by 11, 64-53. This Lander team, boy, they get after it defensively. They have been all over the Lady Cougars anytime that ball gets inbounded. And right now, just some careless plays that you've got to clean up if you're CSU, but time's running out on them. We're into the final quarter. Dozier is going to drive, rejected by Ricarte. Every time they go inside, Ricarte's there. Block number 6 now. The sophomore is just standing there, not even having to leave her feet as the Lady Cougars are just running right into her. Dozier. Carter. Bounce down to Boston. Down to 8 on the shot clock. Dawkins, Dozier. Ball movement here, but Lady Cougars got to put a shot up. That goes off the foot of Lander, and we're down to 3 on the shot clock. A 9-2 run over the past 2 minutes for the Bearcats. Just 3 on the shot clock, and another turnover. Although it's taken right back by CSU. Dawkins to Williamson. Tried to get it to Dozier, and it's poked away. Here comes Passmore up ahead. Another layup, this time by Daly. Boy, Daly has been quiet this entire game. If you're going to come in to this game and say that Daly is only going to have 2 points heading into the fourth quarter, I think you'd be feeling pretty good about yourself if you're the Lady Cougars. One of the leading scorers on this team, Tabitha Daly, with 15 points and 7 boards a game coming into this one. She's been held to just 2 points and 5 rebounds. Hasn't gotten anything going at all this afternoon, yet despite that, CSU is still down big, double figures. Dozier picks up the foul, and comes Williams, as well as Kimmy Edgeworth. This will be the first time that we get to see Kimmy Edgeworth here inside the Lumpkin Center. You remember that name here on Cougar Sports TV from soccer season, the soccer star, one of them for the Lady Cougars, as there's another made three-pointer by Ravel. Second one here in this second half. And it really hurts the Lady Cougars when they're missing Merlos, their best three-point shooter. Again, she's out with an injury. No Taya Gibson. Edgeworth into the game, halfway down, and somehow it popped out, but Boston's there to put it back in. Well, that three-pointer was all the way down. Tough miss there from Edgeworth on her first shot. She's going to have to be the Merlos in this game, putting up threes to try to get Columbus State back into it. You got to take it just one possession at a time, though. They get a stop there, and now you got to get a bucket on the other end, down by 12. Here's Williamson. Got to stop turning the ball over. They're up to 20 now on the afternoon. Boston, Dawkins, layup, fouled. To the free throw line she goes. Ravel is the one that'll pick up the foul. Right now, Lander shooting 70% from the field in this second half. 70%. They're 14 of 20 from the field. 5 of 8 from behind the arc. Columbus State just really unable to get any stops defensively. One more free throw to come for Dawkins, who's 4 of 8 now at the line. Second one up and in for the junior. 69-58. Got to get some stops defensively. There's another one. So back-to-back stops here for the Lady Cougars. Edgeworth bounces it to Ebony Williams, who lays it in. Williams with 8 now, and the Lady Cougars trim it to single digits. Edgeworth got her hand on that one, and she'll be the one whistled for the foul. Passmore was just trying to dribble through the entire Lady Cougar defense. This freshman has been extremely impressive. Passmore, the freshman from Locust Grove, Georgia. Double figures scoring yet again here in this one. She's been in double figures in every single game except 2 of them so far this season. But in each of those 2 games, she put up 9 points, so she hasn't scored below 9 points all year. Off a screen, open look, top of the key. Ravel misses this time, much needed miss. And here comes Williamson, a leak out. Williamson driving 1v1, puts it up, can't get it to go. Fouled though by Ravel. She'll head to the line for 2. One possession at a time. They've been getting some stops. Got to make your free throws though if you're Columbus State. Williamson, a 73% free throw shooter this season. Up to 14 points now in the game. Make it 15, gets both free throws to go down. (69-62). Was a 12-point or 14-point deficit, but they've reeled off 7 in a row. See if they can get another stop here. Loose ball up for grabs, but it falls right back to Lander. Boston defending Conjay real well down low there, and Lander is going to call themselves a timeout. We'll take a quick break here on Cougar Sports TV. 6:01 left, 69-62.
As kids fall in love with sports, our universities are working every day to keep college sports safe, so you can watch them play with a little less worry and a little more joy.
As Division II student athletes, we are committed to being our best.
Division II National SAC is proud to partner with the Sports Science Institute to play a role in the cardiac safety and health of student athletes.
Although many student athletes with heart conditions live healthy, active lives, up to 10 NCAA student athletes die each year of sudden cardiac death during athletic activities.
The facts are that immediate delivery of CPR and AED saves lives, so everyone should be CPR and AED trained. Please join us in this important initiative. Make it yours.
(69-62). 6:01 left here in this game as the Lady Cougars are trying to crawl their way back into it. A floater there inside the lane, off the mark, no good from Passmore. Another stop for CSU, so they're in the midst of a 7-0 run. Chance to get a little bit closer. Williamson to Boston. She's at the elbow, wasn't looking to shoot. Instead, it's Ebony Williams. No good on that attempt. Couldn't get the mid-range jumper to go, and here comes Lander again trying to run out in a transition, and they're going to get another bucket and a foul. Defense just has not been there for Columbus State. Harris at the line to complete the three-point play. In and out on that attempt. It was a 7-0 run, but Lander gets the bucket there to bring it back up to a 9-point advantage. Still time left in this one, though. 5:34 left here for CSU to try to find a way to cut into this deficit. Williamson, though, is going to turn it over. Another turnover for CSU, their 21st of the game, and now a three-pointer to respond. Doesn't quite go down. Ball out. Who's it off of? It's off the Lady Cougars. Eight to 3, that's the advantage on three-point makes for the Bearcats. It's been a big difference here in this one. Down low right now, it's Daly. Here's Harris. They're trying to feed Daly on Boston. Daly has positioning, but Boston's right there defensively. Well done from CSU. Doesn't matter. What a shot there from Harris. Her second three-pointer of the game. Back up to a 12-point advantage, and another turnover. It's taken away. Passmore weaving her way in and out of players, laying that one off. What a move there. The layoff to Harris, who gets the layup. Back up to a 14-point advantage. It's going to force Coach Hauser into a timeout.
It's not about where you were born. It's not about your gender or the color of your skin, or whether you're rich, poor, or in the middle. No matter what you play, if you have the skill and drive to succeed in school and in sports, we'll provide the opportunity.
The American dream to me as an immigrant means having the opportunities that my parents didn't have. Being the first one in my family to graduate, it meant everything my parents sacrificed for me to get to this point. It was paying off.
Estoy muy orgulloso de Michael por haberse graduado de colegio.
My path to a college degree would have been completely different had I not had a scholarship. It would just relieved a lot of the financial burden.
(76-62). Once again, when the Lady Cougars get right back into it, it's Lander who explodes with a 7-0 run of their own to up it and double the lead, back up to a 14-point advantage now for the Bearcats. Well, Columbus State had been getting the stops defensively, and they had put the pressure on Lander, getting all the way back into this one, but a huge run there from the Bearcats. They're holding on to pretty substantial 14-point lead. Here's Williamson for three. Now you got to start that run all over again. 76-65. Williamson with 15 now, or excuse me, 18 now in the game. And now Columbus State in that man-to-man defense. Jernigan is there defensively, and a foul is going to be called on Columbus State's Dawkins. It's going to send Passmore to the free throw line. That should be Daly, excuse me, at the free throw line. Let's see, near a 68% free throw shooter. Take her first free throw attempts of the game. Gets that first one to go down. Been quiet all game, Daly that is. Coming off a dominating performance against Young Harris the other night. 14 points and 15 boards. Some monster double-double. She's got 3 double-doubles this season. Only 5 points and 5 rebounds, though, today. th ranked team in the nation and fewest amount of turnovers. And here they are with 22 turnovers this afternoon. Almost another one there. They just have been unable to cleanly break this press. And Lander just continually to build their confidence. Every time they get their hands on one of those balls. Nice move by Williamson to the rack for 2. Passmore again all the way in. The handles by Passmore I think has been what, to me, has been the most impressive part of this game of the freshman. We know she can shoot. She's a volume shooter. She can do all the little things, rebound, pass the ball well. But her handles have been so impressive. And she has just been weaving in and out of Lady Cougar defenders. 12 points, 7 steals, 5 assists, and 3 rebounds for Passmore. What a game she's having. Gets both free throws to go down. (80-67). Lady Cougars trail by 13. Here's Dawkins. Trap comes into the corner, up top to Williamson. We're down to 3:35 in the game. Boston, oh, Dawkins was wide open and she missed her. Here's Williams. They're going to leave her open from behind the arc, not a three-point shooter. Boston's got to look to take that shot when she's down there. Instead, it's Williamson way off the glass. They got to put it up. Shot clock hasn't reset. Dawkins down to 1. They're going to call it jump ball, but let's see if they put any time left on the shot clock. They were calling the jump ball as the shot clock buzzer went off. The referees huddled together, and they're going to say it was a jump ball before the shot clock went off, so they'll put 1 more second back on the shot clock. Lady Cougars will have a chance to get off a quick one. And it's rejected. Ricarte right there. Who else would you have there? Her 7th block today. What a performance here by the Bearcats. Two more free throws upcoming for Lander. Harris gets the roll on that one. She's having herself a game. 26 points, 10 boards, and 5 steals. Tacks on 2 more free throws. 82-67, 15-point advantage. Carter with it, into the lane, floats it up and in. Somehow got that layup to go. Kind of contorting her body there to get that one up and in. And again, look at Passmore. I mean, 3 CSU defenders, and she keeps the ball and breaks that pressure defense easily, all by herself too. Well, Lander will head off to their holiday break. They won't be back in action until January 4th as well. They will be playing on the road, though, at Georgia Southwestern. So their next home game isn't until January 8th when they'll take on Augusta. By the way, they played Clayton State earlier this season, but it was a non-Peach Belt Conference game. So just a normal non-conference regular season game. But they came away with a 89-81 win. They, at one point, I believe, were up 24 in that game before finally finishing off Clayton State. Here's Boston. Another bucket for Boston. Unfortunately, the loss here by the Lady Cougars is going to overshadow the really impressive performance from Crystal and Boston. She's 10 of 10 from the field, 21 points and 10 rebounds, picking up her 2nd double-double of the season. Well, make sure you stick around here on Cougar Sports TV. We'll have the men's team in action about 25 minutes at the conclusion of this one. So we'll take a break here on Cougar Sports TV, and we'll start up a new stream, so make sure you join us at the conclusion of this one. The men's squad looking to pick up their 6th win of the season. They're coming off 2 real tough losses against Tuskegee, and then just a heartbreaking loss on the road at USC Aiken. They're looking to get back into the win column. Lander, meanwhile, rolls in at 7-2 and 1-0 instead of Peach Belt Conference play. That's going to be a fun matchup between those 2 teams upcoming here inside the Lumpkin Center. 2 teams that love to run and gun, and 2 teams that have some strengths and weaknesses that really combat each other real well. The Cougars leading the Peach Belt Conference in steals and turnover margin, but a very poor defensive rebounding team. Meanwhile, Lander leading the way in rebounding margin, as well as a team that loves to run and gun. Second in scoring margin inside the Peach Belt Conference this year. So should be a real up and down fun matchup between those two teams. Again, we'll be right back here on Cougar Sports TV at the conclusion of this one. 87-73, Lady Cougars trailing by 14. Here's Carter. Williamson trying to drive on Ricarte. Didn't get the block that time, but obviously affected the shot. Ricarte with 8 blocks today. 8 points, 6 rebounds, and 8 blocks. Loose ball foul there on Daly. It's actually going to send Boston to the free throw line. And Boston's got a perfect shooting game on the line here. 10 of 10 from the field. Is just 1 of 1 from the free throw line. No good on that first attempt. Boston's best performance of the season. Gets that second free throw to go down. Well, a loss here by the Lady Cougars will drop them to 6-2 on the season, 1-1 inside of conference play. It'll be their first home loss this year, by the way, as well. This is a team that really dominates their opponents at home. Since the 2013 season, they're 80-8 here inside the Lumpkin Center. Lander just trying to exact some of that revenge. Remember, the last time these two teams faced, it was in the Peach Belt Conference Tournament semis last year when the Lady Cougars had that crazy comeback, that 16-point comeback. They ended up defeating Lander 86-83. Would have liked another 16-point comeback here in this one, but not going to happen late here as they trail by 14. Final 60 seconds here inside the Lumpkin Center. And Lander not giving up that pressure defense. They're going to keep pressing all the way until that buzzer sounds. Williamson will head to the free throw line for 2. Well, it's another 20-point outing, though, for Williamson. By the way, she continues to creep closer and closer to that 1,000 career point mark. Entering this game, she was 61 points shy of 1,000 for her collegiate career. 61 points shy. She's got 21 tonight, so she's currently 40 points away from 1,000. That'll be a historic career mark for Williamson. Most likely it will probably hit it on the road, but maybe we can get her to hit it here inside the Lumpkin Center. (88-76) the score line. What a second half of shooting for the Bearcats. They're shooting 61% from the field here in the second half and 58% from behind the arc. They're 7 of 12 from distance in the second half. 19 of 31 overall from the field on top of it. Well, you don't want to see a doubleheader defeat. Let's see if the men can get a little revenge for the loss that the women are going to face here this afternoon. By the way, the starting 5 for the men, Bryant Gibbons will be out again of the starting lineup, as JT will get the nod once again with BG coming off the bench. The second straight game, Gibbons coming off the bench. But what a game he had last game, despite coming off the bench when he threw up 20. going 7 of 10 and making 6 3-pointers in that loss against USC Aiken. 34.2 left in this one, 90-76. Lady Cougars trailing by 14. This will be their worst loss of the season. Only other loss by 10 to Valdosta State. Well, I think, though, at the end of the day, if you're going to say, Coach Hauser, it's your first season, and heading into winter break, your team's going to be 6-2. I think you would nod your head and say, okay, I'll take that, 6-2 on the year, knowing that you face some good opponents, some tournament teams. Again, West Florida was a tournament team last year. Lander, a real solid opponent. The Thanksgiving Classic on the road at Valdosta State against Eckerd. The 3 SIAC teams. I mean, there are some quality opponents in there, so at the end of the day, 6-2 record, we're going to say, okay, we can deal with that heading into the new year. But there's going to be a lot of question marks about the depth of this team and them being able to come out strong and finish strong games, really, is what it comes down to. They just haven't been able to finish defensively here in this one. Well, the cherry on top there as far as turnovers go, turnover number 23 on the game. 23 turnovers for CSU and a 16-point deficit. So we're going to get 2 more free throws here. Can't get the final minute to tick off the clock in this one. Oh, Smith will head to the free throw line here for Columbus State. And gets both free throws to go down. Final 10 seconds here as the Bearcats will just milk the clock out, and that should be it here inside the Lumpkin Center, 92-78. 23 turnovers for Columbus State and a hot shooting second half for Lander. Ended up doing the Lady Cougars in this one. Leading the way, it was Harris. What a performance she put on for the Bearcats. 31 points, 10 boards, 5 steals, and 4 assists. Played all but 1 minute of the game. Meanwhile, on the flip side, it was Boston and Williamson, each with 22 points apiece. Double-doubles for Boston and Dawkins for the Lady Cougars. That's going to wrap things up for us here inside the Lumpkin Center for this opening game of the doubleheader. Again, make sure you come right back here to Herbert Green Court. We'll be back in a few minutes. The men's teams, Lander and CSU, they'll tip off in a few here on Cougar Sports TV.